So today's topic is enthusiasm. What this enthusiasm is? Is it something like if you win a game or quiz competition, or maybe name a game of numbers, you put certain numbers into the boxes and you win the game and you just jump up and down, I have won, that excitement. Is what enthusiasm is? No, it is not that enthusiasm. That can give you some advantage, but actually it is a kind of dynamite. If the dynamite is exploded in the air, it is not going to give you any benefit. And when the same dynamite, it is exploded under the ground, it can be helpful. You are able to make the tunnels. So, if you are able to control your energy, if you are able to focus your energy, and if you are able to direct your energy to the task, to the ambitions of your life, what you want to achieve, what is worthwhile, that what the ambition is, enthusiasm is. And if you are able to do this thing, you will have the enthusiasm what the successful people have. They do not just jump up and down. They deliberately send their energy to a single pointedly to whatever they want to achieve in their lives. And one thing more, this enthusiasm, this cannot be served you on a platter. You have to develop it yourself. Although there is magnetic enthusiasm, like sometimes some speakers are they are so enthusiastic that they can motivate you, they can inspire you. So that spark can be there in your heart, but ultimately you have to work on it. You have to make it a big flame. And you know, sometimes if you are traveling, some people, maybe you are in a train or in an aircraft, and your co-passenger is like this. Or if he's looking outside, even if the weather is quite good, and you suddenly say, see how beautiful the weather is. Oh yes. What is this? So for that moment only, they get that enthusiasm, and then for few seconds that is there, again come back. So outwardly, by looking at others, you can judge whether that person is enthusiastic or non-enthusiastic. Right? It is an attitude of mind. You cannot find it outside. You have to work on it. Some people, they spend whole of their day, not only days, their lives into negativity, into dull environment. Every time they are complaining. When they awake in the morning, oh, I have to go to the office. Oh, I have this body pain. Oh, there are so many health issues with me. Oh, my officer is such. Oh, I have this meeting, had it been not there today. So complaining every time. It is not the outside environment that disturbs you. It is your inner thoughts. I take you to the other example. There is a person who is confined to four walls in a prison, and he is in prison for life, whose life is pathetic? The person who is getting up in the morning, although with negative thoughts, but he can go anywhere, he can do anything. His life is pathetic, or the person who is just inside the walls of a prison? He cannot go outside, he cannot do anything. Of course, his life is pathetic. But it is seen that many great men and women, they have come from prisons. They got life imprisonments, but they wrote so good writings who could inspire anyone. So what was that? Attitude of mind. They know how to go inwards. They know how to do with their thoughts. They don't have the complaining attitude. They accept the things. They know we are inside these walls. Now, what best we can use of these walls? So, never have a complaining attitude. Always welcome whatever is there and make best use of that. See, if you see a grass, a blade of grass, sometimes dew drops are there, and one person say, oh, these are dew drops and I can wet my feet. That's all. The other person is looking at that grass. Oh, and the rays of the sun are piercing into those drops. Beautiful colors, beautiful thing, just like jewel. So see the attitude of mind. So always be positive attitude, always work with energy, always work with goals. And you are so lucky to have teachings of masters. They tell you so much. So if you are one of those who get up, who awake in the morning with complaining attitude or with negative energy, or even if you are not one of them, but you want to make your day a good day, do one practice. And do with me just now. Stand up. I am awake, I am ready.
I am awake, I am ready. I am awake, I am ready. I am awake, I am ready. I am awake, I am ready.
How do you feel now?
Awake.
Smile on every face. So, and you can add any affirmation to this. We have book on affirmations. Whatever suits you, whatever is needed as per your circumstances, you can add the affirmation. So what will happen? You will start your day with full energy. You will greet your day with positive thoughts, with joy, and life will be wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Preminderji, for that beautiful sharing. And enthusiasm, it's a topic to be enthusiastic about, of course. And I'm blessed to be married to someone who is very enthusiastic. I think we all can see that oftentimes. Yeah. And actually, enthusiasm is such an important part of our spiritual life, of our daily life. And in fact, Swamiji said that enthusiasm in one of his last letters, or probably his last letter to all of us, said that enthusiasm was always the hallmark of his life. And at that point, when he was about to pass away, he lost the enthusiasm for things of this world, so to speak. Now, many a times we tend to mistake, like Preminder said, enthusiasm for excitement. I can't wait to go and do this. And you see that mostly in children. Sometimes they show enthusiasm, sometimes they just, or most of the time, they just show excitement for something. And if you pay attention to excitement, it's very restless. Whereas in this reading, and whenever Swamiji or Master talk about enthusiasm, they speak of joy all the time. I find it so interesting. The power of joy, the power of joy channeled to the will, something on those. And then he talks in the prayer about bliss, of feeling that joy. And we all know that joy is something inside of ourselves. Excitement is something for something outside of ourselves, is something that is seeking fulfillment in something outside. Whereas enthusiasm, even though you may be enthusiastic about doing something outside, is not depending on that thing to feel that heart energy. You know, I was trying to think of times where I was enthusiastic, and you know, I'm never good at coming up with stories, and I have this thing that I always forget about many things that happen. But I can remember one thing that, although it was before the spiritual path, so I hope my enthusiasm didn't drop after coming to the path, but it used to be that when I was back, I was 18, 19 years old, I remember I was so enthusiastic about football, playing football. And my enthusiasm was such that I would convince all my co-workers to come and play football with us, even though they never played football. And you know, I was in Canada at the time, and they all like hockey and things like this. They are not renowned for being good football players, the Canadians. But somehow, I guess I had so much enthusiasm that I will bring everyone to play football and, you know, have a good time. And in my enthusiasm also, I wanted to make sure they are also having a good time. It wasn't just for me. So I don't know how many of you had this happen, but oftentimes it happens in school, high school, that you have a team, you know, for sports. I don't know how it works in India, but you know, you pick your team or the teacher picks for you. And there's always going to be one or two people who are really, really bad, you know? And maybe they're going to just stand like that the whole time or whatever it may be. Or sometimes you see that some of them are actually trying, but they're just not good. You know, because not everyone is good at everything. Well, I will always make it a point to always pass the ball or try to involve those people in some way, just to make them feel that they're included. And I think that's something important about our enthusiasm, that make sure that you're not just enthusiastic about yourself, for your own self, that you're actually trying to share, because the nature of joy is to expand itself, is to share itself with others. So whenever you're enthusiastic about something, make sure to try to share it and not just try to impose it on other people. In fact, that's one of the biggest challenges with enthusiastic people or overly excited people, is twofold. One is, if you are enthusiastic about something, it is an art to not overwhelm people with your own enthusiasm or excitement, because they will reject it. It has to come more from the way you speak, the way that they can feel that there is something in you that is worth listening to, that is worth doing as well. Like, I always feel amazed, and I said this at other times as well, that usually if I hear an expert talk about their own field and they are good at it, or they just like what they do, no matter what it is, I will also feel like, wow, that sounds good. Maybe I should try it at some point or the other. You know, the classic, like Master when he met the Tiger Swami, and the Tiger Swami, you know, he was reading about it or listening to it about it, and Master said, like, is the only time in my life, and I can't remember the exact words, but the first and only time that I kind of consider also fighting tigers. I'm really like paraphrasing here. That's not what he said exactly, but it was in that essence. And so it happens when someone is very enthusiastic about what they do. Well, for us devotees, whenever we interact with people, we should have enthusiasm for whatever we are saying. And enthusiasm, another way of saying, is deep interest or conviction on what we believe in, or whatever we're speaking on, or whatever we are doing. To have that conviction, to have that interest in whatever it is. And you will see that if you speak to people in this way, or share with people in this way, they will feel it. They will feel it because they will feel some sincerity coming from you that perhaps they don't hear from anybody else. And that will have much more power than saying, oh, this is wonderful, and this and that. No, even just calmly trying to share from within that interest, that conviction that you yourself feel for a particular field, for a particular thing, sometimes for meditation, for the quest. it will have much more power because it is centered, more than just jumping up and down and hoping that everybody will join you in your excitement. Now, I was talking about that particular aspect, but also it is very, very important for us to be able to not only work with our enthusiasm, yes, but work with other people's enthusiasm. Because I feel that excitement is better than, as Preminder was saying, someone like, at least there is energy going in some direction. And so it will happen that oftentimes kids, but also people, they will come with a very enthusiastic, very excited thing to tell you. Maybe something to do, something that, I don't know, a movie to watch, whatever it may be. And if you are like me, sometimes oh really? And they're like, oh, okay, I guess you don't want to do it. Or whatever it may be. That is violence. That is actually a very bad form of violence. To kill someone's enthusiasm is something very, very bad to do. So what are the options that we have? Because not everyone who is enthusiastic about something, it means they're in the right thing. Or that you yourself necessarily had to go. If somebody is very enthusiastic about drinking and going to parties, oh my God, you're so magnetic, let's go. You're not going to be like that. You had to be discriminatory. But let's assume this is something good or not bad, at least, that they are talking to you about. But somehow you really don't feel that it's something that you can do or should do. Well, it's not right to kill the enthusiasm, but you can learn to channel that energy. Okay, oh yes, I also think we should do something. How about we do this? Oh no, okay, how about we do this? And just try and learn to redirect the energy, sometimes your own energy, but also when working with people, learn not to be a block. And I can tell you by experience, because I've been a block many, many times to many, many people. And that feeling that you get for being a block is horrible. And that feeling that other people get is also horrible. And they will not come to you anymore because of, let's not ask Bharat, he's just going to say no. Or he's just going to give the problems or whatever it may be. And those are not good things. Not because we want to be good in the eyes of other people, but just because also what it does to us. It makes us also focus in the negative, it brings our energy down, and we lose the ability to flow with life, because life is a flow, and we should really embrace that flow. I like to think of enthusiasm also as one of those hidden gems, like creativity. Now, when we do workshops about creativity, many times people think of creativity, painting, music, dancing, blah, blah, blah. It's not for me. I cannot do that. We proved everybody wrong when we did the painting last time. I guess many of you were here that time. And some people like Preminder, he said he had never picked up a paintbrush in his life. But he was doing it beautifully. And other people like that were there as well. And yes, those are very wonderful creative expressions. And we always emphasize the value and the need to develop creativity in whatever you do. Well, I think enthusiasm is another of those hidden gems that we don't give it enough attention, because we say devotion, we say concentration. Well, actually for true devotion and true concentration, you need enthusiasm. Because enthusiasm, yes, it helps your attitude of mind, but it's also very much a heart energy. The heart needs to be engaged. When you are interested in something, when you feel conviction towards something, it's not just your mind that is engaged. It's not like, yes, I know the ins and outs of this particular subject. I know everything about meditation, samadhi, ashtanga yoga, ananda yoga, everything is all in here. I know everything. You become an encyclopedia, or as Swamiji used to like to say, an armchair philosopher. Yeah, you like to talk philosophy, and we know some of those people, like, you say, wow, yeah, the sun is very nice today. yeah, but the sun is actually a reflection of the spiritual eye. And the spiritual eye, you can only see it when you go deep in meditation. And to go too deep in meditation, you need to learn to concentrate. But concentration will not just, and they go on and on, you say one thing and they just start giving you all this gyan, so to say. And that is not, we understand that those people, yes, they have the intellectual knowledge, but they don't have the conviction or the enthusiasm for the subject. In fact, it's very interesting, but enthusiasm is more important than, you could say, experience in a subject or even qualification in a subject. This has been proven many times, actually, in real life. But if somebody is enthusiastic about doing something, and they are not just like, people who have no capability to learn or things of that sort, if somebody is enthusiastic about doing a certain research, even though they don't know how to research, they don't know anything, well, just because of their enthusiasm, they may do a better job than someone who is very learned, but they don't really connect with the subject. And for us devotees, I think we can feel that we are not very qualified for the spiritual path many times. Oh, I have this problem, I have that problem. I cannot concentrate. Hong So is not working for me. Kriya is sort of working, Om technique, I can hear nothing. Whatever it may be, we feel like our qualifications are not there. But if we develop enthusiasm for the spiritual path, then we can go very, very, very far. We can make it all the way, in fact. Whereas someone who is born with the good samskars of being able to concentrate and all, and even meditate, if that enthusiasm is not there, they are not going to keep it up, or they are not going to be able to go all the way, because the heart is needed. The heart quality is needed. And so it is that, as I was saying, as enthusiasm being this particular hidden gem, we actually have to, as Preminder said, develop this enthusiasm and force ourselves to be enthusiastic sometimes about things. You will see that there is no subject, or I have found there is no subject or no thing in this world that if you don't put your mind and interest in it, you will not start liking it. It is really amazing. If you really put your interest, which means your heart, you will start seeing the good sides of it. And it also helps to think that, well, there is someone in this world that likes this subject, so it means the ability to enjoy it is out there somewhere. That means that I can also develop that quality. So, what does this mean for us again? It means that whenever you sit to meditate, for example, or when you stand up to energize, or when you sit to study, or to read the teachings, or to listen to a spiritual talk, whip up the feelings of the heart a little bit. Say, yes, I want this. I know this is going to bring me joy. I'm looking forward to this particular practice. And you will see that that way, you can go much, much farther, much more quickly. So, there's an example we all can probably relate to, which is, well, some people have no problem with this, but waking up in the morning. I remember when Shami and I were early in our relationship, like every couple, you are kind of wanting to be together, spend time, do different things. Not that we don't want now also, but at that time it's more of a mixture of excitement and enthusiasm and whatnot. There's too many things involved probably. And it's the only one time in our life together that we decided to, let's go, get up at 4 a.m. in the morning, we'll meditate and then do art together, And we did it, actually, we got up, we meditated, and we did art together, and it was a really wonderful thing. Enthusiasm was there. Now, sometimes getting up at 6:30 or 7 is like, But if you even start your day, as Preminderji said, yes, a new day, a new incarnation, a new opportunity to go inside, to feel that joy, which is already there inside me, and I can feel it right now. But to bring that even more, to fan that flame, and to experience the divine. If we go every day, we wake up like this, and then to every meditation, we go with this little bit of a whipping of the heart's energy, not in excitement, but in deep interest, conviction, and love, we will see we can go very far with all our techniques, and we can go very far in all of our activities.